Don't pray for me, pray for your sins. Knowing I'm destined to win. Knowing if the police pull me over, I'll be gone for 10. Knowing that I did some niggas dirty for them Benjamins. So I'm cautious when I'm pulling out, aggressive when I'm pulling in. My little cousin died at 18. Man, he could've been a doctor or a lawyer, but he landed in the soil. My brother in the feds ain't seen his daughter. The ones who post me down ain't never there for you. The middle of the summer with my hoodie on, Thule drawn. Never gave a fuck about what you be on. Summertime shit us, it's like Al Capone. A lot of niggas dead, but they not alone. I'm crying as I'm feeling at the styrofoam. Look, we take Patron and Percocets to ease the pain. And any sentence my brother got, I felt the same time. Caught my first body with the same nine. Fuck with the Crips, but I never bang sides. Caught them shooting like the Clippers threw up all them bank shots. Politicking with my
little brother talk about those feds. Got some shit that just dropped this year. I know life ain't fair, and all the time spent without those kids. Man, I'm cold, now his heart ain't there. Scared to look in the mirror. Won't trust a soul, never pull him there. His mama calling, but he don't even hear. Shit be hurting my spirit. But when I gotta look at everything clear, I see the pain in his eyes when he calls his head.
But when I get it, I'ma definitely make sure I get it.
Let me know. I'm gonna let you know some of this cross on the girl.
That's what they're teaching. It is ArtByC, Daddy of the Year, your boy. I'm here with my coach, the man of the year, you know, man of the hour. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What's happening? Coach Dave is what I'm known as. You know, Frogtown football, Frogtown athletics, Highland Park. You know, if you know anything about St. Paul athletics, you gotta know who I am, I guess.
Facts. This is definitely the face of Frogtown. Been that way for many years.
For sure.
I want to start off this convo with first off, currently you are a high school coach.
Yep.
Where are you coaching at high school right now?
Highland Park, 14th year. You know, assistant head coach, offensive coordinator. It's my 6th year doing that, both positions.
Okay.
So yeah, this is my 14th year. We took, I did 13 straight. We took 2 to 3 years off, and then we came back last year. So,
okay.
Yeah, so.
You took a little break in between like seasons, like coaching, being a coordinator?
Well, yeah, actually, my youngest son played at Stillwater, and I wanted to watch him for his senior year.
Okay.
You know, so I took off to be a parent, and then just, you know, waited for the opportunity to present itself to come on back.
Okay, that's what's up. You started your coaching career where?
I started my coaching career at Frogtown.
Okay.
Years and years ago. I've been coaching for 27, head coaching for 24. And just, hey man, just did it to give my son something to do. You know what I mean? And
okay.
Football's always been my first love, so just got into it and dove in, and man, I ain't walked away since.
Okay, you were Highland alumni too, right?
Oh, no doubt.
Okay, yeah, I just remember because I went to Highland as well.
Yes, sir.
And this was my coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He wasn't my coach, but he was my coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I honestly feel like he had more hate than love for me sometimes.
Well, no, it ain't all. It's just tough love, is what it is.
No, and I definitely needed that because growing up, I didn't really have a father figure. So, you know, I mentioned this to you before that you was definitely something that I would consider like somebody that kept me on the straight and narrow path.
I appreciate that.
And I appreciate it because looking back, I just remember so many impactful moments. Like I remember the first time I can remember football, the first memory I had is like playing heads up with you in your living room. I was like maybe like 3rd or 4th grade, and
we had some rough nights in that living room, didn't we?
Man, you put somebody through a table. I can't remember. But my favorite memory and my first memory, you were my little brother's coach, and he used to have so much fun over your house. I wasn't even a Frogtown member yet. I played with Jimmy Lee,
yeah.
And he had went over there one night, and I was so geeked to go. You was like, come on.
Yeah.
And when I got over there, it was cool. We was playing tag or whatever, and then you came back. You was like, you telling your son, put the equipment on. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't really want to throw it on. Tell him stop being scared, throw it on, and you're on your knees, and we full throttle going ahead. First memory, man.
Yeah, that's crazy that you mentioned that, because I thought about that when you first gave me a call about this, and I'm like, damn, I remember them just being in my living room, like all y'all, you know, us just moving the furniture and just tearing the living room up before a game and stuff. So
man,
it's been a minute, man. I'm proud of you, man, and your success, man, and what you're doing, man. So keep it up.
I appreciate that. I was actually saying that because that was probably going into like high school, my senior year, and into college. Like football was fun for me. You know, a lot of people used to be like, "How you so good?" And I really wasn't one of those people that knew. I wasn't aware of my talent. I was looking at other people like, "Oh, you could be this, you could be this." I was one of those guys that kind of wanted to blow up my friends. Mm-hmm. So when I was in a position where I was able to do something with my talent, it was people like you that like gave me like something fun about it that allowed me to take it further, because I didn't want to go to college.
Right.
Like I didn't want to. Ain't nobody in my family ever been to college. I'm first generation college student. You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
So,
congratulations for that.
Thank you. So like college, it wasn't in my peripherals. It wasn't nothing that I was thinking about. After high school, I was like, man, I gotta get me a job. I had a girlfriend, so I'm like, I gotta take care of this girl. We probably gonna have a baby soon, which didn't happen, thank God. But like I said, so kudos to you, and I want to give you some credit for that.
Appreciate that.
Going through Frogtown and coaching for 24, 27 years.
Yeah.
What's your most memorable moment, if there is one moment, or several moments? We can talk about either of them.
I mean, there's so many to even just cipher through, but one of my most memorable moments is actually your little brother at Jimmy Lee, overtime. This is when I was young in the game.
Which one?
Right. It was the Jimmy Lee tournament. It was at night.
Yeah.
And we were backed up against the goal line, and we ran a quarterback keep to the outside for the I don't know, 90 yards or so to win the championship.
Nine that night or something like that.
Yeah, remember that? Like that probably always sticks with me. I know that's guaranteed something that Antonio brings up every time he sees me.
Man.
That was a good moment. You know, there's so many. You know, when you do this, you learn for so long as I have. You learn to just like appreciate every moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and just grow something special from each moment. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can go on and on about the moments that I've had with coaching, because at the end of the day, if you're doing it for the right reasons, every moment is going to be special for that kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you want to make sure it's going to be that, so you try to capture that.
Yeah, like what's big to me is our graduation numbers.
Right.
You know, just for guys that come through the program and then go off to play high school ball, and then for them to graduate high school, like every year I look at those numbers in June. You know, and you know, we're never under 25 kids.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's 25 young men graduating every year.
Right.
That go through our program, and that's something to pride yourself on as a, you know, coach.
Right. Trying to pursue life and excellence.
Yeah, for sure.
That's dope. That's dope. What was one of the low moments in coaching that you can probably remember?
A lot of those too, man. You know, a lot of low moments too. Like everything's not gonna be all happy and special. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of moments to where you just gotta embrace the failures and grow from them. You know what I'm saying? So I know in particular a part of my time is we lost 6 championships. You know what I mean? After our time, like 6 in a row. You know, after that 6th one, it was like, hell, I don't even know if I want to coach anymore. But you know, it just motivated me to keep going. You know, and just maybe one day we'll get one. The cool thing is that it's rec ball. You know, I have several championships on the high school level, not state, but you know, your conference championships, your section championships, you know, stuff like that. You feel me? So, but that probably was our lowest because we just could never get over that hump of actually, you know, we were the second best team in the city of St. Paul for 6 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
right.
you know, so that probably was the lowest, man. And
being
you know,
second best.
on top of like the deaths, you know, like this world, this generation, man, like we got a lot of kids that done passed, you know, so like that's always a low moment, you know, going to a kid's funeral that you coached and knowing that he wasn't even yet to live his best, you know, part of life, is another low point, you know. I mean, that's probably the worst besides the championships, because again, with losing, you can learn from it and you get another opportunity if you're still, you know, doing it. You know, you can come back from it, but ain't no coming back from death, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's probably one.
Yeah. Just speaking on that, man, I was a Frogtown alumni, and one of the deaths that kind of impacted me like heavy, Anthony Hartfield. I do want to mention him on this podcast. I don't talk about growing up, but if there was a guy that was like truly gifted and special, not only athletically but like with people, you know, in the community. I'm gonna tell a small story real quick, but like people don't know this about Anthony Hartfield. But when I met him, we were in 5th grade, and he was like competition. I consider him what people would consider the op, you know. So there was no word spoken between me and him in any game. 7th and 8th grade, I think we went to like the same school or whatever, and I never spoke to him. We had this animosity on the field. So
at that time, he was with LES and you were a Frogtown.
Yeah, we just couldn't mix. It just wasn't. And he was like, he came to the school, so he was getting some of the girls I was getting. It just made stuff even more hard to make me friendly with him. And he kind of felt the animosity, so he just kind of played his part. And one day I'm at the movies with my best friend and Alex, and we paying for these girls to do everything, and we spent all our money. Like, I spent all mine at least. I don't know what Al had.
Well, you gonna stop all that, you know what I'm saying? You gonna stop all that now?
I was 13, man.
Please.
And Hartfield is pulling up as we're leaving. And for whatever reason, no words exchanged. I didn't say nothing to him. Al shook his hand or whatever. I'm standing off to the side, kind of like not looking at him, but like I stood at the bus stop and like 3 buses go past, and he come out like 30 minutes into his movie for whatever reason and just gave me $2 for the bus. Nothing said. And I was like, this the realest nigga I ever met. Like, after that, it broke my hatred for him.
Well, he was definitely a one of a kind. You know what I mean? He was near and dear to my heart because my son and him were such close friends. So, I mean, he had a lot of nights in the living room when the furniture moved as well. You know what I mean? So, like a son to me, but very loved by many. You know, he was one kid that, you know, you could tell was special.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was unfortunate what happened.
I always call him the Booby Miles story.
That's exactly. He was Booby Miles. He was definitely Booby Miles. He wore number 45. Let Booby spin.
And then, I don't know if you even know about his high school experience, because he didn't really like the weight room as much in high school. He ended up getting hurt right his freshman year. And it just kind of threw his career off, and then to see what ended up happening to him, it just broke my heart. So like, I definitely had to bring Anthony Hartfield, R.I.P. to my boy. You know,
R.I.P. man. Shout out to the Hartfields, all the family.
Love to the family.
You know, Antonio, Mom Deuce, Emily, love y'all.
Yeah, Tone was a dog too, not to mention.
Yeah,
Tone.
Yeah.
He was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
But
no.
Definitely a dog. Speaking of just a little bit more on the childhood. So you coached your son growing up?
I did. I coached both of my kids, and honestly couldn't wait until it was over.
I wanted to say that.
No, I mean it was fun. But I definitely believe that I wasn't the type of coach to live through my kids.
Yeah.
So I never wanted them to get the favoritism role, or get that favoritism treatment. So I didn't like coaching them because I didn't like coaching them. I liked other people to coach them so they can learn from other people, and then I can still be dad in the car.
Yeah.
And dad at home. You know what I mean? So
from the outside looking in, I felt like maybe you could have did a little bit more. From looking at how other people doing it, like just thinking about Shador Sanders right now, maybe you could have did it a little bit.
Hey man, think about this, man. If we had social media in the times of what we had back then, it probably would have been. I would have approached it differently. You know what I mean? But
I'm glad you approached it the way you did, though, because I was on that team. I was on that team with your son.
I just really didn't. You know, I didn't want no favoritism. I just really like with both of my boys, though. I just always felt that you gonna get it by you working.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you gonna get it by what you do. You're not gonna get it from what I'm telling somebody.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like that ain't proof in the pudding. You gotta go out there and work for yours. You know?
And you was definitely a tough love guy, so I can definitely remember you evenly distributing the BS to everybody.
Yeah, if you messing up, you messing up. Like shit. You know what I mean? Ain't no.
I feel like you pulled those ones in closer.
Yeah, you know what? And you're right. Like it's weird, man. You know, I'm a body reader.
Yeah.
You know, I read bodies well. You know, and I guess this is a gift that I learned that I had the more I got to coaching.
Okay.
And just being able to read, you know, what a person's going through, what that person's like, what that person's about, you know, before even having a conversation is something that a talent that I found I have. And it's like some people needed love over tough love. Some people needed, you know, just a little guidance. You know what I mean? Some people, you know, everybody's different. You know what I mean? So I just was even killed with that, like with everybody, like giving everybody an opportunity, you know, to kind of show who they are.
You know? I speaking on that, I remember specifically a couple of our teammates, not necessarily in my opinion, being a fit. And like you said, we got several championships under our belt. So like, obviously it worked for some reason. So I couldn't say you was a magician at least placing people where they needed to be placed, especially with your offensive mindset. Growing up, I didn't play a lot of offense. And the little bits of spurts I did play was usually under you. Like, so I do appreciate them moments too, because like it gave me a little bit of experience on both sides, seeing how other people see the game. So
that's most definitely. Like you were an athlete, man. It's just you know, when you get up into that high school level, you know, you lose control over how you want to use a person. You know what I mean? Because you're dealing with another person's system. You know what I mean? You kind of gotta go by what their regimen is and what their beliefs is and stuff like that. So it gets a little more difficult compared to doing rec ball, and you know, it's just rec ball and you can do whatever it is that you want to do with these kids. But no, I think I learned this from the great Vern Simmons at Johnson, and C and my boys. Shout out to all my Johnson coaches and stuff. I did 4 years there. So one thing I learned from them brothers is Anton, KYP, know your personnel.
Okay.
And I live by that, you know, and it wrong, and it stuck with me so well when I learned it, because it was what I was already doing.
I was just about to say.
It was something that I was already doing. So like that's the one thing I embrace with coaching with other people, especially people in different sports and all this stuff that are great at what they do, is because you take bits and pieces from people. You know what I mean? So
was that second grade team with Tone and Samante your first team that you coached?
No. No, they weren't. I had a team before those guys, Mick and those guys.
Okay.
And, well, I don't know, man. Now that you got me thinking about that, I don't know, because I don't know if Peanut and all those guys were before you guys or after you guys.
You talking about Peanut from the neighborhood?
So like Lil Chip and
those guys.
Are they before you guys or after you?
They're the same age as Antonio.
So Antonio and Samante probably was the first team.
That's the first team?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So
Yeah.
you started off going crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you started off with an all-star team.
It was so you gotta understand though, man. I've been a quarterback at heart all my life. You know what I mean? So like I've been an offensive line, and then just the year before I got to coaching, I was playing semi-pro. You know, for 5 years.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. So I was already like. I was already just made for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Playing quarterback and whatnot. So.
Was that your position in high school?
Actually, at high school, I played fullback and linebacker.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But rec ball, I was a quarterback all the way through, running back, tailback, linebacker, safety. Like I never got off the field. I'm not saying I was great. You know what I mean? But I never got off the field. And then I played for Highland, and I was Rudy Hall, one of my close homeboys, was tailback, and he was unstoppable. So I played fullback and linebacker. But you gotta understand, we were small. Like when I played at Highland, 10th grade, I started outside linebacker for varsity, weighing 140, 148, 146. You know what I mean? So I was a little dude, but I was bringing the wood. You know, so I mean. Talent outweighs size, I guess.
Right. Hard.
Yeah. Hard outweighs size.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I can always speak on is you was always able to get my heart invested in certain things. You know, if it was like a motivational speaker for our team, Z wasn't necessarily, shout out to Coach Zychek, he wasn't always motivational. He was more like lay the wood. He was the stern hand, not so stern, but like the voice.
Yeah.
You was more so the stern hand because you was younger and people was a little afraid of you.
I don't know, I can't see that. But.
Nah, bro, you had an intimidation factor. Like, I knew if I got caught ditching or something, like I was gonna have to see you or Thetis. It wasn't gonna be Z. It wasn't gonna be Coach Fuller. Even though Ben was in the school, like they in the school.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to hear y'all later on.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of y'all better players, or even some of the, cause y'all like spread the love. Coach, y'all big on that. So like, some of my heart that I got confidence and courage, cause that was something I didn't have growing up. I always say this and I speak on this. I didn't have a father and a father figure. Nobody's told me that I was good, or I didn't have nobody giving me compliments. The first person that told me I was big when I was getting big, or the first person that called me a beast was y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I started getting that confidence being around, men's men.
Mm-hmm.
And what did football give to you that you might not have been able to get from other jobs? You know what I mean? To coaching these young kids and being that heart for them and father for them at some points in their life.
That's a good question. Honestly, what football gives to young men, and it gave me, is the opportunity to bond and build with other people, to communicate and learn with other people, to go through adversity, in hard times. Like, football's not an easy sport.
Nah.
So, you're going through a grind, and you gotta really rely on 10 other people every single play. And throughout that, you can learn life lessons through that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So to me, it just gave me life lessons. And this is stuff that I tell, new parents, new kids that are joining and kind of skeptical on, joining the sport, and, too many kids, and these kids are big, and it's just like, hey, he's gonna learn a lot from this, because there's a lot to learn from each experience, and you're gonna take this with you in life, like what you just said, like, a lot of the stuff that you're doing now, and a lot of stuff that you've gone through is because of the stuff that you were taught through the game of football, and it was life lessons, you know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing that I take from it, is just life lessons. And just learning how to deal with people in big groups, and how to rely on people, and then how to learn how to be reliable,
right,
dependable.
That's a big one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's huge. You know, like that's a part of being a man or a woman, an adult. You know what I mean? Is being dependable, being reliable. You know, so I think that's one of the major keys that football brings to the table.
Yeah, facts. Being a coach is a huge commitment to the community,
Yeah,
to people outside of your family.
for sure.
Has being a coach made being a family man, being a father, has it made any aspect of that at any point a little harder because like you gotta balance the weight, the you know?
Another good question. Excuse me. No, the thing about that is that all really depends on who your supporting cast is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're dealing with if your partner is a person that's not interested in sports,
Yeah.
then it makes it harder. You know what I mean? Because there's just no interest there. But if you got somebody that's kind of, you know, for one, like, you know, I've been with mine for over 27 years, you know, so she's a football mom.
Yeah.
You know, she got to go through it with my oldest child.
Yeah.
We got to go through it with our child, you know, so like it's football in our household is second nature. Like it's no, you know what I mean? Like she knows during this certain time to this certain time, I might not see, you know, dad until whenever, you know, but I know he's doing what he loves to do and she supports that. You know, my kids support it. You know, my daughter, like the one thing is like my daughter probably got it the worst.
Yeah.
Is because like it kind of cut her. Like my son was so busy with football, and we're so busy with him and traveling and doing stuff like that. Like she didn't get an opportunity really to do her. You know,
Like
you know,
girly
softball,
stuff outside of
volleyball.
right.
You know, just any, you know, the girl stuff outside of football. Now she did everything she wanted to do, but it's just like that support and getting her into the sports and building that camaraderie, you know, for herself. It just came late, you know what I mean? And she's doing great. I mean, she's a great person. Now, I'm not saying that it damaged her or nothing, but nah, man, it's just really about your supporting cast, to be honest with you. It's really about who you got around you that makes it either hard or easy. And I'm blessed to say that I've had a good supporting cast to allow me to be me, you know, so.
Facts.
But it can be bad. I mean, people do get divorced for it. Like, people do have their problems, you know. I'm just fortunate enough not to have those.
Facts. Coaching men
Yeah.
or young men, guys that's about to have
men too, shit.
about to have kids.
Yeah.
You know, driving cars, getting drunk.
Yeah.
What is some of the hardest dilemmas when it comes to these young men going to college, coming home from, you know, certain things? What are some of the biggest focal points that you like to get in their head when it comes to like guidance or games?
For one is you're a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that should be first and foremost, like you're a man. So carry yourself that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like carry yourself as a man should be carried. Like you know, we all bump our head, we all make mistakes, you know, growing up, we all do stuff that we probably shouldn't have did in life, right? Like, but once you get up into that next stage of life, it's like, man, you gotta start taking stuff serious, you know? Like, you know, you can't, you know, there's laws, there's rules, you know, and I mean, the consequences get harder,
Yeah.
you know, the older you get, you know what I mean? So, whether that's you having a baby, you know, now you got somebody that depends on you, you know what I mean, that relies on you to whatever, you know, feed them, clothe them, whatever the case may be. So the temptations of life, you know, are bigger and easier for a man because you feel like I'm a man, I can go and do whatever it is that I want to do. Like I can go out, I'm a man.
Facts.
And you're not realizing like real men think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like real men think
Care.
about, yeah, you know what I mean? And thinking is caring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like you think about what you do before you do it because you care about the outcome and what's gonna happen for yourself. You know what I mean? So
And the people around you.
yeah, for sure,
top of
for sure.
Is that why y'all are hoping to introduce like trades and skill sets towards the younger, or the older?
For sure. Yeah, like that's exactly why. Like I mean, because at the end of the day, like I'm a big believer in idle time is the devil's playground.
Right.
And I start that young with my younger guys. So you know, like we were talking before we started, it's like what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to turn a nonprofit organization into something to give these young boys something to do outside of summer school.
Yeah.
Outside of you know, just messing around, Orbeez and you know all the little stuff that get these little boys in trouble. You know, like teaching them crafts. You know, cutting lawn, knowing how to cut lawn, knowing how to shovel sidewalks, knowing how to do things for the community. Like we wanna teach these young men to be community leaders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's one of my goals. You know, is to teach these guys to take some positive outlooks into their community. You know, so that way we can take care of the community too, and just to being a good person. You know what I mean? Like that, people overlook just how much of a difference it makes for a person to just be a good person.
Yeah.
Compared to being an a-hole.
Yeah. And that being like the standard you set for yourself.
Just a standard, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, opening up a door and holding the door for somebody compared to opening up the door and walking out and let the door close in their face. Like, there's a difference. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so these are just, again, life lessons in the game, man.
Right. So as far as those life lessons, I know that for me personally, like I said, I didn't have a lot of structure or a father figure growing up. So some of the life lessons I had to go through and stumble on my own. What are some of the things that specifically, like, cause I know you got ties to the community with like recreation centers and stuff like that. What are some of the things that you guys might be able to do, or that you think directly, like right now, kids can be like get into right now to kind of occupy some of their time? Like, I know availability is like small.
Yeah.
With some of these things, like jobs right now, they're laying people off. Walmart ain't hiring nobody right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what are some of the things that people could get into right now, in your opinion, that you think somebody that age 16 to 21, you know what I mean?
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest with you, starting your own, man, making your own coin. It's not, you know, like there's, you know, I don't know how this is gonna come across, but my dad told me a long time ago when I was just a young buck, you know, and he basically said, now, and this is probably isn't the most politically correct thing you could say, or this ain't, you know, something that I just tell kids, you know, but this is just something that was told to me, is as long as there's dirt on the ground, you know, there's something to be done. There's money to be made.
Right.
You know, as long as there's soil on the earth, there's some kind of way for something, you know. So I translated that into, you know, hey, entrepreneurship. Like, you know, there's, you know, kids sell lemonade, you can sell ice cream, you can sell this, you can buy they're selling lawnmowers on marketplace.
Bagging groceries.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, they're selling all this stuff. You know, like there's so many different avenues now, especially with social media.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many different avenues for a young person to do something positive and make a coin, compared to taking from somebody else, or, you know, doing something that's gonna hurt someone else, you know. So I'm just trying to look at the avenues.
One of the toughest things that I had an issue with when I was in high school sports was I was single mom, 4 kids, you know what I mean? So I was working since I was like 11. I had my first job.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got to high school, the commitment that you have to make to sports, also trying to be responsible for home, like that was one of the things that, like, it's not taught, so you kind of gotta learn it on the fly. And I just think in implementing that early on in some of these kids, You know, even with high school sports, like y'all had us going around selling some of these things so we can get new jerseys and stuff like that. I think we've gotten away from certain things like that. Not saying Highland has, but just general public. You know, we don't got kids doing services out in the public, partially because of the crime, but like we gotta get away from the notion that our kids is gonna be harmed and put them in a position where they can be helpful. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like you said, the idle time is where the harm comes from. When they at work, I don't see many kids at work getting, you know, jumped on and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I honestly think that's a key goal. What are the goals? What are some of the goals for yourself when it comes to coaching? Are you looking to go further with this position? Are you looking to?
No, I must say, I mean, you know, the younger me, I wanted to, you know, sky was the limit, man. You know, like I thought I was gonna be at the U. You know what I mean? I thought I was gonna be at the NFL or something doing this thing, man, and you know, it just wasn't my path, you know, and I think I'm good where I'm at, like just where I'm at with you know, with Frogtown, you know, doing the youth thing and helping these young brothers out and sisters out. I'm content with that. You know what I mean? High school is I'm good with high school. You know, but am I trying to be somebody's head coach? You know, and stuff like that. Nah, I like where I'm at, man. I'm pretty good. Like you know, Frogtown is where I'm at. Frogtown's where I'm gonna be. And you know, when it's time to hang up the whistle, you know, I'm gonna be at peace with it. You know, I think I did a lot. Got a lot of kids that, like I said, have great educations, living good lives. You know, look at you. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm content with that. Like, there's no Belichick story for me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just Coach Dave, bro.
There's no Belichick story.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna be in the NFL no time soon. You know what I mean? I'm not, you know, that's past me. I like that, you know, I'm chilling. I got grandchildren, man.
That's amazing. You know, so I been reading a little bit, and I always thought that my youth was when I was gonna experience the most of life, and between like 1 to like 30. Let's go. And my grandpa told me that he didn't start actually experiencing or actually like seeing what his experience was and then being appreciative of it until he got a little older, like maybe about 45, where he was able to slow down and actually like live in the moment.
Yeah.
Based on my experience with your coaching career, I don't know if you see it, but I feel like if the opportunity ever presents it, which it should, because you're an amazing coach, you definitely a motivator, and definitely a hell of a play caller. Like, I never thought Max Elliott could be Max Elliott. I hated on him for 2 years.
Max Elliott.
I hated on Max for 2 years. I swear. And I was man, you got him that way because he was very. Let me not disrespect this man. Very shy, mild mannered. But you knew what a quarterback, at the time I'm young, you knew what a quarterback's supposed to look like. You know he was supposed to be intelligent. You know he was supposed to be able to communicate with everybody. You know he was supposed to be able to keep it even, steady, under all temperatures, and that was Max. And that was Max, and that was what I learned at the last back end. But in the whole 2 years, I swear to God, because I wanted Monte to be our quarterback. I'm like, you know, that's what I grew up with. That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? He hating on Max. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, Samante wasn't. Shout out to Samante. That's my baby boy. Samante was a good quarterback, but you know, I thought Max was he had everything. You know what I mean? And you know,
he was what we needed.
I knew Samante could play other positions. You know what I mean?
That was the position for Max. That was one spot for him.
Yeah, he was a quarterback. He was the guy. Yeah, for sure.
Now I'll give you that. So to end this interview off, I also want to mention the fact that Coach Dave was DJ Star's All-American Hall of Fame.
DJ Star, shout out to DJ Star. He at the crib right now. You know, it's funny that you say that. Y'all don't know how special DJ Stars was, man. You know, like people still remember the DJ Stars. There's people that have no idea who the DJ Stars are. But then there's just, if you know, you know what I mean? And you know.
It's like the Globetrotters almost.
We used to kick some tail, man. You know, we had some, Hartfield's a DJ Star. You know, Anthony Lee was a DJ Star. Roosevelt was a DJ Star. Like, people gotta understand, like, and this is kind of what got me at Johnson is because the year Johnson went 28-0, majority of their team was playing for the DJ Stars in the summertime.
Oh God.
We would drop them off to Vernon for them to go play their high school stuff, and then they turned around and went 28-0 that year. You know, so that following year, so following that following year, Vern brought me on. You know. So like, no, man, it's always DJ Star with us. You know, if you don't know, the David Jones All Stars, that's my dad and myself.
Shout out DJ.
Shout out OG. But no, that's you know, I just seen Trey the other day.
Trey Kaufman.
Was it Kaufman? Was that his last name? DJ Star?
Yeah, Trey with the braids, right?
Yeah. I just seen Trey and it's funny, man, when you see you guys when you get older, man, and it's like we double taped with each other, and it's like, Coach, like Trey, like, you know, and then it's hugs and stuff from there. He was supposed to bring his son to me for football, but
man,
he never reached out, man. But you know, we had a really good group, man, of kids. Like, you guys were, you know, what you guys don't know is you guys saved me, you know, and I think some coaches are too prideful to admit that to the people that they coach. You know what I mean? Like, I was young, you know, knucklehead, you know, getting into, you know, the wrong things. You know, temptation in the streets was high, you know, and coaching you guys kind of slowed me down and gave me something different to look forward to. You know what I mean? So, like, I tell parents that all the time, like, you know, one, thanks for giving me the opportunity. Two, like, your kid is saving a coach or another. You don't know what, you know, like, coaches always think that they're just always bringing up this kid, my kid, or, you know, I did that for that kid, and not realizing, like, he needed the help more than anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that us as men have to acknowledge that more and just understand that, hey, man, you guys saved me. You know what I mean? Like, gave me something to look forward to, you know, so, you know, giving you your flowers, young man, you know, for real.
No, I appreciate that, man. I definitely want to leave this and say that 2011 Coach of the Year, I'm going to give you and Coach Dave that Co-Coach of the Year. I really wanted to have that trophy so I can give it to y'all. Y'all gave us plenty of trophies. And I just wanted to say Coach Dave or Coach, you know what I'm saying? Something to give.
Hyland calls me Coach Ross.
Coach Ross,
calls me Coach Dave. That's how I always know the difference in kids that I coach. You know what I mean? From Highland and Frogtown.
I have both, and you're gonna be forever Coach Dave. You know, man, Coach Ross at Highland. But,
hey, that's what I am. Hey, you see what it says, Coach Dave. We had some good years, man. We talk about it all the time. It's funny, like, you know, we played yesterday, and, you know, I had to bring the speech and stuff like that, like, you know, because, we're just, nothing's changed, man, with us. You know, Z, Thetis, you know, myself, like, nothing's really changed, man. You know, we're just still plugging away at it and doing the same stuff that we were doing, man, just older and wiser with it, and the approach is probably a little more subtle.
Yeah.
You know, because of these time and day and ages, there's some stuff you can't say, you know, and, you know, with the social medias and all this stuff, you know, it's, you know, you gotta be careful with what you say and do, you know, but still the same thing, man. It's football. You know?
Again, man, it's all love this way, man. I appreciate you on the pod. Thank you for just giving me the hour.
Oh, man, it's all love. It's all love. Man, thanks for having me. Bring me back.
Facts. We
Shout
got.
out.
Oh yeah, he got a your youth team is going to.
So we're picking between Atlanta, Texas, and Vegas.
Okay.
December 14th.
And this is the semifinals, or this is the national?
This is the national tournament.
National tournament. Okay.
Yeah, so we doing big things. You know, come check us out. Frogtown Football, Frogtown Athletics. If you know about FT, you know about me. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody. Much love to the world.
Okay, I got 3 boys. You know they coming on the way.
Oh, bring them on.
Stop playing. Hey, we got.
First body with the same nine. Fuck with the Crips, but I never bang sides. Caught them shooting like the Clippers, threw up all them bank shots. Politicking with the members, know you gotta keep it solid, my nigga. Lost some homies, now the kids ain't got no fathers here with them. And then you wonder why niggas steady lost in the system. Look, you know when you're in that water, a lot of niggas gonna drown, man.